That's I suppose that shows that elite mentality you have to be at the very top of your game. Like you say, it's like perfect is where I'm constantly aiming for, and like 99%, I still don't feel as good enough because I'm striving for that 100%. But like you said, it's a thing you have to work on. But I wanted to touch on the final, like you said, for the medal, because as you said, they subbed the team out, which I didn't know was a thing in swimming. I thought there was a case if there was injury or something, and I don't want to pry. I don't want to pry in if it's something because I know you obviously like you still have a lot of emotion about that, and like you said, it took you a long time to sort of accept the fact that you contributed to that medal. It still is your medal. You might have not been in the final heat, but it was. Like why? I suppose why did the substitution happen? Because obviously, if like because in my mind the way I look at it is you've got the team to the final. You've gone through the heats. Why something? I read somewhere online. I think there was a few guys' last races. So was there a bit of like a send off thing for them in that, or was it a case of I don't know. Can you explain it in any way you can with the?
So I don't want to say we got really lucky, but there was enough teams to have two heats. Like there was too many teams to just have one heat, and if there was only going to be one heat, they would just do a straight final. And then on the day, two teams pulled out. So Singapore, which were contenders for the bronze, didn't they pulled out. What the South African team turned up, but one of them missed the bus to the pool. So we were in the call room waiting to go out. South Africa were in the lane next to us, I think, and one of them wasn't there, and we were like, "Come on, this." And then so they got kicked out, and then we were like, "Oh, here we've actually got a real chance at getting this bronze now." And then in the heat after us, Canada, who I'm sure probably would have beaten us for the bronze, got disqualified. So now it's just England and Australia for gold, silver, and then between us and Wales for the bronze. Right. And there was only enough teams for one heat after all those teams didn't turn up. So we were like, oh, here, we can do this. And I used up so much energy beating myself up after my 50 fly semi-final, like mentally, that I didn't realize how much of a toll that took on like your physical energy, because I just felt sluggish. I was not swimming great. And after the heats, I went round to my coach and I was like, you're not putting me in the final. I'm not being the reason that the team's gonna lose that medal. And that's what I said to them. And then eventually, like, yeah, they put Duncan Scott, who's the best Scottish swimmer of all time, on the fly. And I think it was just they do that just to maximise the one. It's so that the boys that are going to do the final get a rest, because they don't want them to swim more than they have to. And someone like Duncan, who's doing a lot of races anyway, they don't want him doing any more than he has to. So that's why we did the heats. And it's also just to like maximize, like if you're getting a medal, you'd rather have 8 boys get a medal than only 4. So it was just to give like other people a chance at getting one, I think, and also to protect the people that your faster people that are going to do the final. And I think it was always the plan that I was going to do the final, like because I was the fastest fly swimmer that they had there. And then when I think it was, they just realised that we can get a bronze here, so we're going to put Duncan, who's more reliable, is quicker than me as well. And I was like totally happy with that decision, because I didn't want to be the reason that the team lost the bronze. Which don't know if that's cowardice or whatever, but yeah, I think I didn't have anything left to give at the end of the week. I think I'd spent all my energy being really annoyed at myself for the 50 because I didn't make the final. That was all I had left. So
wow. Yeah. But what's interesting is because you said that at the end there, it's like you were like, oh, I don't know if that's cowardice, but from the way I look at it, and I don't know this is because what I mean from myself as an external, because I'm not in the swimming world to the extent of yourself, or like I said, like Claire Balding, some of that earlier, somebody who watches it, everything. But what we associate is normally quite an individual sport. Obviously, we understand you have the medleys, you have your team races. What you did there was actually you kind of put the team first. You went, look, I know I'm not the best I could be as a competitor here, but I want the team to do well. So what you've done is basically you took yourself out of the spotlight to go, I know we as a team have a better chance of winning. And then what also pointed out to me to the success there is, like you said, it's like England and Australia are going for gold. Then it's Scotland versus Wales for bronze. Like that also then encapsulates how much talent there is around you on like an almost weekly basis or meet basis, because you've got, obviously when we talk about the Olympics, it stops being England, Scotland, Wales, and it comes into GB. So you've now got 3 whole other pools of people you're competing against as well. So I think almost what you said there of, I completely agree with what the other people said of you deserve the medal, because fair enough, we've rested Duncan Scott for all these other races because he's churning out lengths in the pool for the Commonwealth, but like that means nothing if the team around him can't get him to the platform he needs to get to.
Yeah.
So I think you really do deserve that medal, and I think it's something you really should take pride in. And then, but what I think is really what strikes me is talking to you, because obviously I'm only 26, and even versus you're only now 24 at this point in the Commonwealth Games, 25 now. Like the emotional intelligence you almost have, and like the sporting brain intelligence you have to identify, I'm not running at 100%, whether this is, like you say, physically because I've had COVID or I'm not ill, or mentally because I've just, like you said, like I know I could be better than I could be, so therefore I'm annoyed at that, because that's just natural human reaction of, like, even if it's down to your homework, like my favourite subject was maths and I've shafted my test, so it's not gone well. But yeah, I think that's really interesting how you've come across that whole thing and how you've spoke about it so maturely. And I think it really is eye-opening to, like, a lot of people will take lessons from that, of somebody who is thinking we have these situations where it's all about us. And like I said at the very beginning of this sort of rather long-winded analysis of what you've just said, the team aspect that you put into a traditionally individual sport, because I mean, the example most people recognise with us here is Michael Phelps is Michael Phelps. He's very associated as Michael Phelps of Team USA, but he is part of the US swim team.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really incredible what you did. And then if we want to go back, we'll talk about your individual the 50 fly. How was that going up? Was the lead into that? So was the swimming in the beginning of the Commonwealth, or was that a bit more? Yeah, so hey, thank you for listening to this Clips episode on YouTube. And then if you want to hear the whole podcast, you can find them on Apple or Spotify, as well as the full video version on this YouTube channel, alongside all the other great content we produce on a weekly basis. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you again on another Clips episode or in the full episode podcast. Tweet us, tag us, let us know what you thought. All the links are down in the description. It means the world that you guys come and support us, so thank you very much.